Well, the last card of 2024 in Tampa and fighting December 14th, Tuco Tokkos. Tuco, how we doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just come out of the gym, had some lunch, feeling good.
And before we get into this, I mean, like I said, go Birds, but where's the Eagles fandom come from? You're a London boy down in Florida. What's up
I
with that?
know, I know. I got some family in Philly, and when I first moved to the States 6, 7 years ago, I asked them. I was like, "Who's our team, man?" They were like, "The Eagles." So I was like, "Cool." They just won the Super Bowl. It was perfect timing.
Were
And
you
yeah, I
here for
love
the Super
sports,
Bowl?
man. Nah, I wasn't here yet, but
We'll
I,
get
I
another one
jumped
for
on.
you.
I jumped on. Yeah, hopefully it was looking good yesterday. So
For sure, man. And then I'd like in Tampa, this card is so. I mean, technically, it's a home match, right? You're being at Killcliff. You get to be there down in Florida. Like, does that add extra excitement for you?
for sure, man. I've lived in the States for 6, 7 years, like I said, and I've never fought in Florida. I've lived in Florida the whole time. Um, so I'm happy about that, man. I'm gonna drive to the fight, which is a change.
Don't got to stay in the hotel or nothing.
Nah. I mean, I'll stay in a hotel or an Airbnb, but it's still 3 hours away. But
Right.
I'll drive my own car there. I don't have to get on flights and all that. I can load up the car with everything that I need
And then
and go up there.
I mentioned that you're at Killcliff and
Yeah.
great gym, one of the best in the world. I guess like who are you specifically working with for the most part?
I'm with everyone my size, I was a middleweight previously, so we got like a squad of middleweight killers there. Um, Obviously, my boy Brendan Allen, Gregory Robocop Rodriguez, Gerald Mearshaw, Ongla and Sang. There's some guys you never heard of as well. There's a guy I train with every day. His name's Baisanga Susukayev. He's 6-0. He's got a fight coming up in a couple of weeks, but he should be in the UFC ASAP. This kid's a killer, Chechnyan. He's like 23. He's a murderer, yeah. You guys are gonna see him soon.
You know, UFC loves those Chechnyan killers, man. Look at
Yeah, yeah,
Hamzat last weekend. But
yeah.
I mean, how was it? Like, I know you work very closely with Brendan Allen. Like, how was it preparing him for an extremely high level fight that he was just in Paris?
You know what's funny? Nazaruddin is actually in the gym right now. He came to
Is he?
visit. After the fight, we spoke to him in the hotel and said, "Oh, you need to come train with us," because he expressed to Henry Hooft, our head coach, that he wanted to come by at some point, but then obviously he booked a fight with Brendan, so he couldn't come. But we told him, "Oh, come and train with us," and he's been at the gym for a week or two now. So I've been training with him a little bit. Brendan isn't there right now, but he's coming back next week to help me for my fight. So I'm sure they'll get to train together again. Um, that fight was crazy. Camp was like up and down, and obviously it's always difficult when you go to a guy's hometown, not only his home country, to his hometown,
Right.
his home arena. Um, and we had a great first round, but there was just a lot stacked against us. I don't think you saw the best Brendan Allen in that fight. Like, I think that's the worst I've ever seen him. And I've been in his corner for 10, 11, 12 UFC fights. So that's the worst we've ever seen him. I think that was the best Imamov that we've seen. Like, he was stuffing the takedowns, his hands were going. And Brendan made him just look average at times, being the worst Brendan. Like, I still think Brendan's much better than him. So hopefully he can get back on track and get another chance to show that. But yeah, I mean, when you're training with guys for those high level fights, it's always, you learn so much just in the fight camp. And I'm in camp with these guys day in, day out. So, and I think they're the best guys. I know Gregory Robocop isn't ranked yet, but he should be ranked, man. I mean, you see, it annoys me a little bit because there's like guys who I think aren't that good, and they got ranked so quickly and they got opportunities so quickly. Like even Imamov, he was 2-1 in the UFC and he got to fight a ranked opponent when he fought Shabazian. It's like, what the hell are they doing? It's like they choose who they want to push and who they don't want to push. And a guy like Robocop, he should be in the top 10 already. Like, I know this guy. Like, I've cornered main events. I've trained with the best guys in the world and I know his level. So, like, getting to do fight camps with these guys, it only pushes me and I learn so much and I get better too.
And this one is an interesting one because Navajo, who you're fighting, he's from
Yeah,
City Kickboxing. You're from Killcliff. So
yeah.
like, is that a part of this fight for you at all? Like two of the best gyms in the world going up
Nah,
against each other?
not really. To be honest, I know there's all these great gyms around the world, but for me, and I don't say this as like some proud American, although I live here, like the level here is different. They're not getting like the best NCAA wrestlers out there, you know what I mean? And you saw that when Izzy got found out, the first guy to shoot a legitimate takedown on him takes him down and chokes him like he'd never done jiu-jitsu in his life. So it's like, so me hearing like, oh, he's the only guy who can compete with Izzy, I'm like, what does that mean? He's a white belt as well. Like, I don't know how good the kid is. I mean, I'm not underestimating him. Of course, he has this kickboxing pedigree. He has a lot of knockouts, but when I go watch the fights, it's like prior to the Contender Series fight, if this gets out there, everyone go to his Instagram. His last fight before that, I don't know how that is even deemed a KO. The guy, he like throws a spinning back kick, it brushes off the guy. The guy just falls down and taps on the mat, and that's a KO, and he's a KO artist. Like the guy, I don't know who these guys he were fighting are, but yeah, I'm not underestimating the guy. But like, there's levels, like I said, like the guys that I train with, like I'm sure the kid's good. He's big, he's long, he just knocks someone out. Anyone can get knocked out in a fight, but yeah, there's no fear there. He's a bit younger than me, and yeah, I don't like I said, the guys that I train with at my gym, multiple time like all Americans, champions, MMA champions. It's like I don't really give a fuck about his gym, you know.
And who from Killcliff's going to be coming to be in your corner?
So we got a few guys on that card, I think. We got Michael Johnson on the card. So I don't know, yeah. I always have Brendan in my corner because he's my jiu-jitsu coach, I'll say. But yeah, I'm not sure yet. We'll see who's going up. I think Henry and Greg Jones are going up, so they'll most probably be in the corner if they're at the fight.
And last time out for your debut, I mean, short notice, didn't go your way. This one, you got a full camp ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, are you considering this your like real legitimate debut?
Yeah, I am. Although that comes with its disadvantages too. Like with the short notice, it was like I didn't even have time to think. I just showed up, made weight, fought with no pressure. Now it's like going through a full fight camp. It's grueling. You got injuries. You have to time your diet and time stuff and time your training and cardio and all this shit. So it's like there's a lot more to think about. But of course, yeah, I'd rather have the preparation than
Lost you there for a second. You're going through a dead zone. I hear you trying to break through, Tuco. You're just going through some bad service. So got you back now?
You got me?
Yeah, I got you. We're just on a little bit of a delay, but you were just talking about how this is your technical real debut, but there's some ups and downs that come along with that. So I guess like my next question is, having tasted that octagon and not gotten your hand raised, like how hungry are you to now like taste that first UFC win?
Yeah, of course, man. I'm super motivated. And having been around the sport for so long and been in the octagon so many times, like, because I corner a lot of guys, you know, and I've seen it, and it's like I want to taste of that for myself. I was saying before, there were some good takeaways, even though I lost that fight. I was gutted to get submitted because I never thought in a million years I'd ever get submitted. I think like I have good submission defense, and but obviously the weight cut, the travel, all these things play a part. Um, but yeah, there were some good takeaways. Like I absorbed zero significant strikes in that fight. It was like, so I was like, damn, I haven't been hit for a while. It feels like, you know what I mean? And then like the fight before that, I finished the guy quickly, didn't get hit. The fight before that, I didn't get hit. I was like, oh damn, I haven't been hit in an MMA fight for a year. So that's got to serve me well if I'm going to fight a striker. Hopefully that plays a part. And yeah, like Umar, he's now a friend of mine. He came to Florida. We trained a bit. It's like, of course, I respect him. He was the better man on that day, but it's like, I would love to fight that fight at 100%, you know, no weight cut and have energy and all that stuff and not have traveled and sleep and all that stuff. Because when I was in there, I know a lot of people roasted me because I was talking during the fight. But, you know, I was trying to win. Like, right, I'm going to use every tool that I can. And I knew physically I was depleted. So I was going to use my big mouth. Why not? But yeah, really, like, I feel like he could never submit me. And he's going to beat a lot of guys. Like, he'll probably be ranked in no time and fighting some big fights. But having felt the level and then trained with him after, I was like, oh, damn, that's the level. You know what I mean? So that's I know the levels, you know what I mean? I know that there's levels, and I feel like I know those levels. I'm not saying I'm at those levels. I'm just saying I know the levels, you know, and I know what I need to do to win fights.
And talk to me about this upcoming one with Navajo Sterling. I mean, you kind of mentioned the stylistic matchup, but like, how do you
Yeah,
see this fight going? How do you feel about Sterling?
you know, of course I respect him. I like that he's quite humble. I like his demeanor. Um, he's a he's a young kid. He's hungry. Seems to be a good striker. He's like a bony, hard kid. Um, but yeah, I mean, I can do it all. I don't know what he can do, you know? I can do it all. I'm the type of guy like if I fight a wrestler, I'm gonna keep it standing and strike. If I fight a grappler, I'm gonna stay out of his submission threat. If I fight a striker, I can wrestle him. So it's like I feel like it's up to me, you know. I don't know how good the kid is, but that's what we're gonna find out, you know. We're gonna find out. But I quite like my chances anywhere. Like I said, the kid's got 4 or 5 fights, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's different. Like he's never fought in a and he's never probably been in the UFC in that environment. I think actually he's been there for Izzy and helped him. Maybe I don't know,
Yeah, he's done
but
some of
we'll
that,
see.
but
You
his
know,
first fight.
yeah, I feel like there's no pressure on me, so we'll see, man. We'll see.
You
Coming where I come from, like I always say, I used to fight on a show in London, right? It was called UC MMA, formerly Cage Rage, and we always used to say like, and a lot of guys have come off that show. Me, Linton Vassell, you got Jimmy Manuwa. And when it was Cage Rage, like Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, all these guys, Cyborg, they all fought on there. MVP,
mm-hmm.
a bunch of guys, and we'd fight in front of like 10,000 fucking gypsies, like rowdy people from London. So it was like, oh, if I can fight there, I can fight anywhere. You know, I've never been intimidated by any arenas and stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. All the pressure's on him, I guess. He's probably going to be the huge favorite. I've seen on Tapology, like all the predictions are for him, which I don't mind. You know, there's no pressure on me. We're going to see. I'm going to try and spoil the party and be a party people.
You just win your buddies some underdog money, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, obviously, like chasing the first UFC win, assuming you get that here, without looking past your opponent too much, like what's next ideally? Like what does an ideal 2025 look like for you in the UFC?
Man, I would love to fight in London. I always
Yeah.
say this, I don't, if I try and recall, there's not many real Londoners in the UFC. And if there are, they don't really represent London like that. Like I'm a real Londoner. I know I live in America, but I'm a working class Londoner. And there's not many like me. I'm really from London. I'm from actual London, not the suburbs, not Greater
Right.
London. Yeah, I'm from the fucking blocks. And yeah, it annoys me when they do these London cards and they put these guys from Liverpool, Manchester. It's like 5 hours away. What the hell is this, man? You can't do a show in New York and put a guy from Boston as a headliner
Right.
or Philly. You know what I mean? They wouldn't stand for that. So yeah, I'd love to fight in London, man. I would love to fight in London. I fought at Wembley before, but I'd love to fight at the O2 or somewhere. That would be sick. Yeah, bro, I'm realistic, you know? I don't think I'm amazing anywhere. Like I've been in the sport for a while and like I'm competent everywhere. I'm decent everywhere. Mentally, I feel like that's my greatest attribute. Like I'm not scared to fight. I'm not scared to bang. I'm always gonna try and win, you know, even though I know it's a fight and anything can happen. But yeah, so it's like I just want to be in cool fights, man. I have no aspirations for titles and all this shit. I don't care. I don't need the money from fighting. I just like to bang, bro. That's it. I just want to put on sick fights, you know, and make the fans go wild.
Have you heard anything about them coming back to London? I assume like
I don't
March.
know, man. I don't know. We'll see.
And I only have like one more question or one or two more questions for you. And this one isn't usually one I ask, but just because of this past weekend, you see Max Holloway get knocked out for the first time ever. You see
Mm-hmm.
Rob Whittaker potentially get his jaw smashed and
Crazy.
smashed, and certainly his teeth pushed back. Like when you see this as a fighter, how do you like? I don't know, swallow that, put that behind you, ignore that to just go out there and perform. Like me,
Bro,
I train, I see that, I'm like, oh, God, I don't want that to happen to me. You know what I mean?
I don't know, bro. I'm just not shook, man. But for me personally, where I come from, like I'm from Camden in London. It's a bad borough. It's like Camden in New Jersey.
Yeah, right.
And for me, that's the least of my worries. When I was growing up, there was people getting pitched and stabbed and murdered. And for me, that's like I've been in worse. I've been involved in worse shit than that. So for me, it's like, oh, there's a doctor ringside, the ambulance. You're on TV. There's a referee. Like for me, that's no big deal, man. You break a couple bones or whatever, or get knocked out. It's minor, but yeah. I mean, of course, I pray that everyone's safe, you know. But yeah, I don't even think about that. It's not even. I'm not even shook of that whatsoever.
That's why they call you all warriors, right?
Yeah, yeah, I guess.
For real, man. And Tuco, before I get you out of here, man, a lot of people very excited to see your real debut, so to speak. So anything you'd like to say to all your fans?
Just tune in, man. I'm gonna go put on a show. I'm gonna bang. We're gonna get wild. We're gonna see what this boy's got. All respect to him. Um, I'm sure he has a really good skill set. He's from a great gym, great coaches. I'm sure he's preparing. Yeah, let's have it out, man. Let's see what's up.
Love it, man. December 14th, last UFC card of the year. Do not miss it. Tuco Tokkos going to town along with some other banging fights. Thank you so much, man. Kick some
Thank
ass.
you. Go Birds.
Yes, sir.